Welcome back, engineers. Today on Vulcanus, I'll finally get oil processing under control, expand the base, and eliminate another worm. I'll turn my ship into a freight hauler and start building a new ship for the trip to Fulgora. While that's going on, I'll build a greenbelt factory and a backup power station with alarms. So join me in this episode where we get ready to head to Fulgora.
Okay, so we're back here. I've done some building, been a little bit. You can see I built this up. This is where I landed originally. Anyway, so I've built a little bit of a factory here, a mini mall, we'll say, just to build all the basic stuff. Probably missing something, I'm sure. All the basics that you might need to deal with being on the planet, right? That's the idea, so that I can make stuff happen while I'm not here using the map. Got 4 rocket silos set up. Blue circuits aren't awesome on this, but doesn't have to be too much. We've made plenty of science. Got 4 science things going, which has yielded us over 10,000 science now, which is pretty cool. Got a couple of the tungsten ore factories going, one of every basic thing running off the iron and the copper. Using the foundries. Foundries are awesome. Got this worked out, so I'm creating from lava all the molten copper and molten iron that you need to run this. Everything's made from that, basically. Yeah. So then this is just small stuff. Tungsten ore here, so we can use it as a subcomponent. We've got our sulfuric acid storage tanks here that are pretty much the primary source of everything on this planet. Starting to draw this down now, so I've been looking at trying to unlock this section possibly. So here's my steam input. I got my oil field over here using the coal liquefaction process, using power, making power off of calcite and sulfuric acid. It's pretty cool. And what else we got here? Alright, so then we got some oil processing going on. So since everything's based off of heavy oil and you get so much of it out of that system, I have to backtrack it over to petroleum gas. And of course then I can make some explosives from that. This is copied off of Novice from a little balancer circuit to modified slightly though, but prioritizes heavy oil instead of petroleum. Same idea. Keeps all of the tanks in line. So right now all 3 types of fuel are oil rather. We're hovering around 24K and it just clicks on whichever one's in the lead pretty much and makes some solid fuel out of it. Helps burn it off. And then I turn that into rocket fuel. Store it over here. So we got plenty of rocket fuel now. Here's my blue circuits, red circuit maker. Right there, it's pretty cool. Plastic station. Right there, some explosives to support artillery. Yes, we have artillery now. Yeah. So on that note, back in space, I've turned my ship into a transport for the moment, and it's moving science back and forth. And where is it parked right now? It stopped at Vulcanus. And I have it going back and forth to drop off science and pick up calcite and tungsten. So it's in pretty good shape there. I think, what are we waiting on? A little bit of tungsten and 1K more of science. We've got 11K on the planet ready to come up here. So we're just waiting on a rocket to get built, I think. And maybe 2 rockets. And then this ship's on his way back. So yeah, so in the meantime, I went over to Novice and I had to build artillery and the shells for the artillery. Probably, now that I'm thinking about it, have it build the I'm gonna call it, what is it called? Cliff explosives. Yeah, cliff explosives. Get that built. Because I don't have it on this planet. We'll just okay. Got everything it needs. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so this is the mall as it is right now in Novice. It's got like almost everything. I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2 things here or there. Basically, it's all in there somewhere. If it's not, we put it in. Let's see. So since we're based on turbines, I have a turbine creator here, and so these can get generated remotely. The idea is so that I can do like I just did with Novice, where I come over here and I build something on the planet using remote, using my bots. Yeah, so I set that up too. I've got the bots being made right here. And so there's the flying robot frames for those guys. I have created 421 logistics bots now, and I've got about 103 construction bots in the system. So that's really cool. If I want to stand up more silos, I can do that remotely too. I got cement in there somewhere. There's a piece of that back here. Find that. Yeah, so back over here, I actually have it making the foundry in the foundry. So I'm just gonna get a whole box of those, because why the hell not? They're so awesome. You should have a box of them. And then this kind of spits out what I need for that, along with the refined concrete. Make some lubricant here. And it just picks it up off the side of the oil processor. This is, I don't know if this is the best design, but the way this works, it seems to work good. I'm going to do the simple coal liquefaction. It takes 10 coal, 2 calcite, and 25 sulfuric acid to make 50 heavy oil. So I figured, well, that's going to drive 2 of these, because each one takes 25 heavy oil and 10 coal, right? So basically I got 1 to 2 on each of these things. And then out of these, you get each type of oil directly, which is kind of nice, right? But the ratio is a little messed up, right? You get 90 heavy, 20 light, and 10 petroleum. So it's kind of upside down to what you're used to on Novice. So that's why when I came back, what I did over here is I did the oil cracking, right? And so you take the heavy oil, because that's the thing you're going to have the most of, and you turn it into light oil to help this one out, and then you turn that into petroleum to help that one out. And at the end of the day, they're all balanced out now. If we look at this light pole, I've got a signal on it, and it says we've got 24K of each, and that's just keeping it balanced. So, and they continuously pretty much run, so it's good. I guess eventually they'll stop once it fills up with solid fuel, but until then, we're fine, and we probably don't need it to continue running once it does that anyway. Yeah, so then these guys, it's just a matter of trying to get enough press or blue circuits in here to build the rockets, but it seems to do okay, although there's a lot of pausing, not continuous pausing. Not super happy with it, but it is what it is. I could expand on that. What I'll probably end up doing is delivering more blue circuits from Fulgora. There. Anyway, So let me save this here because I'm about to embark on an expansion. I've made a nifty little blueprint. I think it's still there, yeah, called the Worm Killer. It seems to work. We're gonna stick it up here. We'll just come up here in his area and do it. One up in here. Put the Worm Killer down. Okay, let's do this. Alright, dude, where you at? There. We are out of your territory, dude. Look at you. Yeah, you're heading towards me, that's why. Okay. Trying to hit him in the face because it seems to be where he's the most vulnerable. Alright, let's get that out of here. Alright. Age. Alright, and you lose any of my guns. Nice. Alright, so we'll pick that stuff up. Pick up his corpse. Why not? What is this? Whatever. Okay. So now I own this territory. And that is a small. Good. I don't know what's up here yet. We got some tungsten stuff. I just want to check it out. Oh, the coal's up here, right. So eventually I want to get to this coal because I think that's going to be a thing I need. But as you can see, there's really nowhere to build here without blowing up the cliffs. But I wanted to get a hold of this sulfuric too. In case I needed that. Don't quite yet, but yeah. And he destroyed my poor little radar here. There we go. Alrighty. And I got access to this sulfur field here again. Should that become a thing in the future? And there we go. So that actually isn't too bad. This one's hanging in there just fine. Oh, that finally died. That was my original calcite mine. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Yeah. There we are. Not a real exciting planet, but it's got some nice tech on that you get from it. Yeah, I don't see anything else out here that's really worth going after at the moment. But at least I've, expanded territory in two directions. I could go north and south a little bit, but I don't see a reason to at the moment. I'm going to leave it there. Let's head back. What can we make? Oh, yeah, I gotta make the splitters here, the green belts here. There we go. Okay, so what else can we make? So we need yeah, I gotta set up all the belt stuff for that. Well, I'll do that later. But basically, yeah, I'll need that's the last thing to build here. And I think I'm done with this planet for now. Moment. Oh, there we go. Rocket bingo. So I think that's all there is to talk about on this at the moment. I just got to build the belts, and then we're off to Fulgora. So we have everything pretty much set up here on Vulcanus, however you say that. And it seems to be able to launch ships on its own, all that. I've got my ship up there right now, kind of doing the grunt work, moving back and forth. And maybe I'll just rename this and make another one for myself. Could do that. And then we'll head to Fulgora. So maybe we do that. I set up a new ship in orbit somewhere, and I've already got it set up on Novice to build ships, so probably enough resource still there to build another ship. Let's do that, and I'll rename this one. Let's call this one okay, that. That. Vulcanus. Great. There we go. Alright, so let's make a new planet around Novice then. Because Novice isn't doing anything right now, is it? Well, I guess it is researching, yeah. Researching. Just use two things. It's gonna be busy for a little while, but probably we'll halt the research for the most part. Let that finish up and then call it good. So it can concentrate on making me a new ship. Which I believe all the bits should be kind of ready to go here. Alright, we got 2 full boxes of space platform materials. We've got a starter pack ready to go. Probably have all the other bits and bobs here somewhere. Alright, so here's the crushers and stuff. I'm not ready to go to quality yet. I guess maybe I should, but I don't want to take the time to do it right now. We don't really need to for this. So, yeah, alright, so there's our rocket engines. What is that? And the landing pad, right, okay. So everything's ready to go here. So I don't have to duplicate that here yet. And I got all the rockets built already, so yeah. Let's go ahead and we'll add a new space platform around Novice. And we're going to call this my personal transport again. Use the normal character, there we go. Personal transport. Create. That should. There it goes. That rocket's going to take off and put that up there. And now that it's there, or soon to be, come on. There it is. Head over here to our personal transport. Okay, so there it is. Let's save this. We'll load the game again. We're gonna load up another playthrough. Our map. Yeah, this is the one that I modified, so I might as well just start with it like this. To be able to survive on solar panels going to Fulgora. I guess it's going to fill this duty at some point anyway, so we might as well build it that way. We're going to blueprint this particular ship. Seems to work for the purpose. And I don't feel like figuring it out again, so there it is. Alright. So we're going to call this the Fulgora Transport. Good enough. That's what this is. Create that blueprint. Book, ships. Yeah. Alright, save. Okay, so now we'll load the other game back up. Our map. And then we'll build that transport here. I should start the build. And then we'll adjust the settings on it later. Probably will go fairly quickly considering I have everything already on the plan to build it. So second ships tend to go faster. Alright, so we'll leave that to that. Meanwhile, over here, I need to work on the green circuits. Get those onto the transport ship. Alright, so green circuits, what do you require? So you require, green belts, rather. Bleh, green circuits. Green belts, what do you require? So you require the blue belt and lubricant. The blue belt requires the red belt and lubricant. The red belt requires the yellow belt. Okay. We basically got to cascade this through. Same with these, right? Requires the previous one. Requires the previous one. And red circuit. These are a little special, but whatever. Okay. Let's do that. Where do we want to do that? That spot's getting a little full. I mean, I've got cliff explosives now. Let me grab some of those. And I kind of want to just clear this out so I can do stuff here. Get rid of those cliffs. Probably good. Let's do it right here. So, I'll just stage this up. I'm going to start with my requester factory. Just run it from left to right, I guess. Starting back here. Should be plenty of room. Okay, so we're gonna need yellow belts. And I'm not gonna make the bots, we're just gonna cascade this through, I think. Well, we use red belts here. Alright, let's do it like this. We got yellow belts, red belts, blue belts. Now the problem is you gotta make space for the pipes here, and green belts. Let's see if that works. And then we're gonna have belts, undergrounders, and splitters. Alright, so starting with this. So this will be yellow belts. And I guess we need to put some power in here. Okay, so this will be yellow belts. We'll set this box to the size of 1. I'm just going to do that to all these guys. Oh, just after the fact. Okay. Alright, so it's yellow belt, and like this, the red belt. Need it on. That'll be the red belts. And this will be the blue belts. And you're gonna pull that out. And then this would therefore be the green belts. Oh, and those must require... Oh, I know how to make it. Do I have to make them in a special thing? That might be what it is. I've never made these before. Oh, they have to be made in a foundry. I see. Okay. Well, that changes the game a little bit. Alright. Foundry it is. Okay, so these need to redo the green wire. We're gonna read the recipe ingredients. Using red to go in. Alright, put wire in. And we're gonna set the recipe. There we go. So that then requires that. Okay. So for the moment, let's clear this. Get rid of these two. That. That. I'll blueprint this. I'll call this Factorio Foundry. Right there. Okay. So that one's going to be the green belts. This one's going to be the green undergrounders. This one's going to be the green footer. Alright. Let's go back and set these. So this is the yellow undergrounder. This is the red undergrounder. Blue undergrounder. So this is the yellow splitter. This is the red splitter. And this will be the blue splitter. Okay, then we'll hook up our pipes. We have a source of that around here nearby. Not really. Yeah, we have oil nearby, sort of. And get that out there. Go that far. There. Alright, then we need to make some lubricant. Need some lube. I guess we'll just plug it right in. There we go. And what the hell, I'll just put a tank on it right there. All good. Make me some lube. There we go. Lube. So now it's just waiting on the process to stack through. So, I mean, the advantage of this method is I got all the bits available to me for each thing. So now these, I'm going to say this is the output I want. We're going to go ahead and just make like 4 stacks of splitters. 4 stacks. So undergrounders. Give me a whole box. That. Belts. And the rest of these are just set to 1 stack. But bonus, since a lot of this is made out of red belts, if it needs repairing, there's the red belts to repair it with. If I want to upgrade later, there's the blue belts to do it with. The yellow belts are just a thing. I guess you could build it in if you want to at this point. Okay, and there we go. Our first green belts are being made. And our first undergrounder. Nice. Oh, we even have a splitter already. That is awesome. Okay, so that's done. Very cool. That's very cool. Back. I think I might blueprint that for a later playthrough. There. Those belts. Hmm. Alright, so now that that's built, and all of our research is done, I'm going to go back to the map, hit the Vulcanus freight thing up here. And I'm going to tell it, I also want you to grab some of these guys. So how do these stack? So these stack at 50 per rocket. Oh my god. We'll just bring them back a stack at a time. And for the moment. We'll stack at 50 per rocket. Or no, 25 per rocket. Man. That's 2 rockets right there. That's that. Okay. But that'll start the process of bringing those things up. And then for each trip it'll bring up 1 stack of each. And then we'll head over here to Novice and we'll tell our dude here, well, I want you to bring down, I'd really like to eventually have 1,000 of these guys. And maybe 200 of those guys each. It'll take several trips, but that's okay. And it'll try to make sure that I always have that available to me over here. How much is that? So it's 50 per stack. I did 4 stacks, so that's the full box. Back on Vulcanus. So let's actually up these box sizes so we have more, because we're probably, I'm just going to let it fill, because we're probably going to use these other places. Yeah, we'll just let these fill. Build to your heart's content. So you fill. That's fine. Got a little traffic jam going on there. Any more traffic jams? Not really. No, we got some out here around these guys. Basically means it's degrading the efficiency of the bots at these points. That should help the traffic jam going back and forth to that mine. Anywhere else we got traffic jams? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, and how's power doing? About 50%. So I'd say it should be able to survive like this for almost ever. Now that said, I have a ton of solar panels down here. I might as well use them. And I kind of wanted to put something in here that would say, hey, you know, if we run into a situation where we ran out of fuel, you know, for some reason we ran out of fuel, we could switch over to solar power and reboot these things, right? I think that's kind of what we want here is, how do we reboot this on solar power should it become necessary to do so? Alright, so the goal is, if somehow this thing ran out of fuel and stopped being a power source, I need to be able to reboot it and fix, you know, you need to be able to fix the problem and reboot it. So the way you can do that, I think, is with an accumulator. We have to kind of like isolate these things though somehow. I suppose we could just do it to one of these, right? Just have one of these sitting out here. So let's do something like that. Oh, well, that's how we can do it. We'll just do it with a backup generator that can kick in, has its own supply, and it alerts me that there's a problem, and I can fix the supply problem. But meanwhile, we've got power. Alright, so I'll stick it out here by itself. Okay. It has no power at the moment, and that's fine. And it's just kind of going to be primed and ready to go. That's the goal here. So this one also has solar panels with it, we'll say. That should be enough. Okay, so that should boot it. Yeah, that's plenty of power to boot this. That said, it doesn't have anything to power per se. Why does it? Oh, it has these. It's all basically running on solar, so it's not using any power. So then if we put an accumulator in here, where we're going to put our logic out, we'll put it over here. Okay, so that boots up our one accumulator. Okay. So we probably also need a tank of sulfuric acid just to run this, because if that's the reason it runs out, we need that to work. Let's put that on electric pumps. But this will isolate it, right? So we can isolate it here. Isolate it like that. There we go. And we'll put a switch in here. Oops, switches. More. Put a switch in here. Allows this whole thing to be turned on and off. The main network. Huh? Another one here. Disconnect that. There. Okay, so this will pump fluid in, but not let it get back out in case this thing gets sucked dry. And it's powered by its own power. Alright, so now we can plug in some sulfuric acid to it. Go. And we'll fill that tank up, and that'll allow these guys to make the steam they need, and I'll store the steam off. Get a box of calcite already cached in there, right? Okay, and then we just got to make this decision point. Maybe this isn't where that goes. And then we put our cider down. And we plug our accumulator into the decider. Our decider into the switch. There we go. That's our backup power station. So actually that's wrong because we need this side. We'll put our accumulator on this side. I almost feel like this is deserving of a latch. I'm going to copy that from Novice. I have one. It's a nuclear power plant processor. Copy this. Here's my batch. Alright, we need all this nonsense. light bulb in there, though. These. We want this part powered by the internals. Yeah. So it's connected internally. We need to unconnect that. Let's set it out here. Okay, so instead of this, we only really need 3 digits. Make some displays. Okay. Nice. Well, show our accumulated charge in real time. Alright, when it hits 10, it comes back up. Alright, so the only thing missing here is an alarm. Need a speaker for that. Like that. Right here somewhere. Green wire on it. Then 100. There we go. Alright, then I can just look there real quick. And go, oh. Perfect. I'll have the alert go off at less than 50%. Okay. Yeah, that works. Alright, let me plug that into the system then. And now, it should only cause that problem if the other power should fail. Alright, this is all by itself. Good to go. Why do we have 3? Oh, because we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Then over here is the other side. Look at the power grid. Yeah, switches off. Very good. Yeah, I like that. That's my emergency power switch. I'm gonna blueprint that. Alright, so right now we're in condition green, so everything's good. I like it. So if I'm not here and all hell breaks loose with the power, at least I have some backup power. I have a box of stuff in case that's the reason that these ran out. I've got, I mean, these haven't really used much, right? They've only done 5. I think that was to fill the steam up initially. Now we're at full steam. It's just sitting here powering almost nothing. 132 kilowatts. Should run like that for almost ever. In fact, when the sun's up, it won't even use that. Right? It just goes to 0 on this for the most part. So we've got our belts built now. Let's take a look at our platform. Our transport is built. Awesome. It's built, it's fueled, it's got ammo on it. It's ready to rock and roll. So I should probably send it over here to pick me up. Well, I guess I should load it with stuff that I'm going to use over there first, right? So let's look at the other one. Let's see, we probably need to put landing supplies on it. Don't need that anymore. Tanks. Don't know that we need electric furnaces anywhere for that, so we'll get that out of there. Now, interestingly enough, I guess not. So it's 2 trips to get over to here. I guess I'll come over here, pick me up, load up that stuff, then we'll come back here, refuel, and then head over to Fulgora. Okay, so now it needs to bring all this stuff up. Turn that off. Add station Vulcanus. A condition, all requests satisfied. Passenger present. care about the cargo here. What we do want is passenger present. So it's going to come here and pick me up, and then passenger will be present. We're going to go here. The top. Not going to unload here. Not going to unload here. We will unload here. Yeah. So ammo. Within 900. Fuel stuff. Alright, so if the fuel's good, the ammo's good, I'm on the ship, and all the requests are satisfied, we can go. And we'll head to Novice, make sure our ammo and fuel is good again, and head on to Fulgora. Good, and then come back. Alright. There we go. But I don't think I need to get off there. There's no reason for me to. Yeah. And then when we get here, then we just land, and we're good to go. So right now you're at Novice. Yeah. Whenever it's ready, I guess. Once all the stuff is up and loaded. What's going on with that? Novice. Got shortage of ships, I suppose. Still loading. All this stuff's coming up. Gotta get all those things. Fine. And then it's gotta build ships. So, alright, it'll be a minute. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good for the moment. I'm gonna cut here, take a break while that gets done. And once it's done loading and gets over here to me, then I'll resume recording.
Vulcanus is finally taking shape. The foundries are running, the oil is flowing, and only half the alarms are false positives. The freight line's operational now, the old ship's stripped down, refit, and ready to haul supplies across the stars. I'll stay here just long enough to see it makes its first run, and then it's my turn to leave. A new ship, built from the scraps of the old one, waits at the dock. Fresh paint, clean wiring, for now. It'll carry me to Fulgora. A world that never sleeps, where lightning hits harder than regret. But before that, there's cargo to load, belts to untangle, and one last systems check to ignore. If Vulcanus taught me anything, it's that progress always comes with a few small explosions. Next up, Fulgora. Let's see how long this one lasts.